Okay, so let's get right into it. India's government has just hit the reset button on a massive, multi-billion-dollar industry. We're going to break down exactly what happened, why they did it, and what it means for everyone involved. First, just look at this number, 45 crore. That's 450 million people. That's how many online gamers there are in India. It's an absolutely staggering figure, right? It gives you a sense of the sheer scale of this industry that has, well, almost overnight, just hit a brick wall. So the big question is, why? Why did the game suddenly stop? Well, the answer is a huge new bill that the Indian government just passed. And listen, this isn't just some small tweak to the rules. It is a fundamental, ground-up overhaul that's designed to completely change the game, especially when real money is on the line. But you have to ask, why take such a drastic step against a booming industry? To really understand that, you have to look past all the flashy revenue numbers and uncover the hidden and frankly dark social costs that was pushing the government to make a move. And this is what makes their decision so significant. The government was pulling in about 20,000 crore rupees, that's roughly $2.4 billion every single year in taxes from this industry. So for them to intervene this aggressively, you know the problems had to be severe. They basically chose to walk away from a mountain of cash for something they felt was more important. Because here's where the story gets really complicated. While all this money was flowing in, there was a devastating human toll that was building up across the country. We're talking about reports of widespread debt, addiction, and personal ruin that was just becoming impossible to ignore. And a statistic like this one, it just puts the whole crisis into sharp focus. This wasn't about people just losing a bit of money anymore. The issue had escalated to a genuine matter of life and death. And that forced the government to stop looking at it as an economic opportunity and start seeing it as a national public health crisis. So with all that as a backdrop, let's actually decode this new law. It's called the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Bill 2025. What does it actually do? What are the new rules of the game? The government's whole strategy was to draw a really clear line in the sand. On one side, you have any game that involves real money deposits. Think fantasy sports like Dream 11, online rummy, poker, all of that is now banned. But on the other side, they want to actively encourage skill-based esports and social games that don't involve betting. And this bill comes with some serious teeth. But here's the key thing. Notice who they're targeting. The penalties aren't for the players, nope. They're for the entire ecosystem that promotes and profits from real money gaming, from the platforms to the influencers, the cricketers, and the celebrities who advertise them. So the crucial point here is that this is not just a simple ban. It's a complete teardown and restructuring of the online gaming sector in India. The plan is pretty clear. Ban what they see as harmful, actively promote what they see as a healthier alternative, and then set up a whole new regulatory body to police it all. Now, you can't make a move this big without creating some massive waves. And this decision immediately sent a huge economic shockwave right through the heart of this once booming industry. I mean, just how big was the industry that got hit? We're talking about 400 startups, 2 lakh jobs, that's 200,000 jobs, billions in foreign investment, and an industry that was growing at a steady clip year after year. All of that now faces a completely uncertain future. And the impact was felt almost instantly. The financial markets reacted, well, exactly how you'd expect. Stocks of major publicly listed gaming companies just plummeted in the days right after the bill was announced. It was swift and it was brutal. The industry's response? Well, they were in shock. Their whole argument was, hey, we're already paying super high taxes, a 28% GST, a 30% tax on winnings. We get it. They were asking for clear rules to operate within, but what they got, at least in their view, was a complete and total shutdown, a blanket ban. So all of this leaves us with the million-dollar question, or I guess in this case, the multi-billion-dollar question, what happens next? What does the future actually hold for this massive industry and its 450 million users? Well, this is the new landscape. Pretty soon, you're not going to find these real money gaming apps in the major app stores. The companies that manage to survive will have to pivot, completely change their business model from user payments to advertising, which is a much smaller piece of the pie. And this has huge ripple effects, right? It creates this cloud of uncertainty over big things like IPL sponsorships. The fight's not over, though. Industry groups are pushing back hard, lobbying the government to reconsider. And ultimately, that's what this all boils down to. It's a fascinating and really complex dilemma. On one hand, you've got the government's duty to protect its citizens from financial ruin and addiction. But on the other hand, you have the economic freedom and the incredible growth of a modern, thriving industry. The government has made its choice, but the debate over whether this was protection or a massive overreach is far, far from over.
Join us as we go beyond the book, exploring the wisdom within. Subscribe for deeper dives.